to Church Biz. I am your host, Reverend Patrina White McClure. We have a very special guest with us on today. But before I introduce him, I want to let you know that this is our fall inaugural airing of Church Biz. So we do so appreciate you and your time in viewing our show today on prospering in spite of the pandemic. Please do not forget that WCEG is a nonprofit 501c3 organization. So we want to continue to bring talk radio to you on the various topics that we cover, whether it's from veterans, the acting community, or what have you. We have a lot for you. But call us 404-490-8646 to show your appreciation for the work that we do so that we can continue it. And again, we thank you in advance for calling us again at 404-490-8646. But our very special guest today is Mr. Lawrence Briscoe, an author and an investor. Thank you, Mr. Briscoe, for being on the show with us. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. How are you?
Oh, doing great. Thank you. Thank you. Can you tell our Church Biz audience your history, your resume? Tell us about you.
Okay, so I grew up in PG County, Maryland, in Bowie, Maryland. I went to Forestville High School. I went to Bowie State for a little while, didn't work too well. So I ended up joining the military. I joined the Navy. I was a parachute rigger in the Navy for 4 years, stationed in Japan and San Diego. Did one term, came back home, went to an IT technical school for a couple months, got certified, got CompTIA certified, became a help desk, IT help desk at Andrews Air Force Base. Then I moved on to a private IT company, being a NOC analyst and a SOC analyst, which is networking and security. Then I went up to be a systems engineer, Linux and Windows systems engineer. After that, I pretty much saved up my money. I always knew I wanted to work for myself. So that entire time I was just saving up my money and then just, buying investments, buying things that will be able to bring me a return. So I will be able to quit my job eventually. So after a couple of years, I was investing aggressively so I can get to my goal of quitting that 9-to-5. So when I got to that point, I went ahead, put in my resignation letter at my company, even though I love my company. Maxis was a great place, but went ahead, put in my resignation letter, and I became a full-time investor. So that's what I'm doing right now. And it's still early. It's been about 2 months now, but I've been investing for the past couple of years. So that's pretty much a quick rundown. That's my story.
Awesome. Sounds great. So when did the book idea come about?
I think the book idea came about when I really started I was getting very heavy into learning about cryptocurrency, and it was something that I was very interested in and I was very passionate about. And everything that I've learned, I just decided. And the thing about it was when I talked to people about it, I only have like 1 or 2 friends who was really into cryptocurrency. I didn't have too many people that I could talk to about that, right? So when I started talking to people about it, nobody really knew what it was, right? Like of course they heard of like Bitcoin, and that was about it. They never heard about blockchain or any of the other cryptocurrencies or any of the projects that it's a new and it's a developing and young market. So of course it was going to be like that. So I decided to put out a book, something very short, concise, is about 40 pages. And it's for people who want to do long-term investing and want to get into cryptocurrency because it's a very fast growing market and is getting adopted very quickly in different type of financial institutes and companies. And I think that this is something that, our community should definitely know about. Like I said, I wanted to make it concise. So I didn't want to make it 100, 200 page book. I wanted to give resources for, everybody to refer back to and, being able to invest into it. It's something that's going to be here for a while. It's actually adopting faster than the internet in the 90s. And I'm pretty sure everybody wanted to invest into like Google and all those companies back then if you had the opportunity, if you knew what it was going to be today, right? Yeah. So I'm just giving people an opportunity to, catch that.
So tell us the name of your book and then explain Bitcoin or cryptocurrency to us, because we hear these terms, but we don't really understand.
Okay, so the name of my book is Wealth Building Through Cryptocurrency. So the book talks about what cryptocurrency is, what blockchain is, what smart contracts are, how they all intertwine. It talks about centralization and decentralization, the difference between our economic system and a decentralized economic system, what makes cryptocurrency worth investing. And there I put a lot of different resources about where you can buy cryptocurrency, like I said, what it is. And also not only that, but later on in the book, I actually talk about wealth building. So it's not all about cryptocurrency. So later on in the book, it pretty much talks about taxes, how you can diversify your portfolio, because cryptocurrency is a great investment, but you don't want to put 100% of your money into one market. Cryptocurrency is cool, the stock market, real estate. I'm actually going into the trucking industry myself. So just learning how to diversify your portfolio, So it's a really good book. It's a lot of information for only 40 pages. And it has a lot of links in there where you can just click on it. It'll go straight to different websites and pages that can pretty much teach you about cryptocurrency.
And pretty much your book is just electronic and not a hard copy, isn't that
Yeah,
correct?
it's an ebook. So as soon as you buy it, it goes straight to your email, and you can take it with you wherever you want. You can go straight, like I said, there's links in there. It'll go straight to those websites and stuff on your phone. So you'll always have it.
All right. And so the people who aren't as technologically savvy as yourself, they're kind of out in the window on this one, huh?
Oh, as far as the ebook?
Yes.
Oh, it's pretty simple. It'll just pop up in your email and it's right there. It's right there.
Okay.
It's not
Cool.
complicated at all.
All right. All right. Good. All right. So what's the difference between cryptocurrency and the regular stock market? Because more of us, we've always heard about the stocks, the stock market, New York Stock Exchange, American, all of that, Japanese. So what is the difference between that and the cryptocurrency so that people can have a better frame of reference as to what direction they want to go into?
Okay. As far like there's no limit, so you can really go into both directions if you can. But the stock market, so pretty much as far as the stock market, these are actual companies. These are companies that that you'll hear of, like Apple, Amazon, Google, all those different type of companies, and you own shares of these publicly traded securities, these companies. So a share is basically you're owning a percentage of that actual company. So that's pretty much the stock market. The cryptocurrency market. So cryptocurrency is basically first and foremost, cryptocurrency is what people know about the most, but the heart of cryptocurrency is blockchain. And what blockchain is I like to compare blockchain. Blockchain is a platform, and I like to make a comparison between blockchain and the internet, right? So like I told you earlier, right, we live in a centralized economy, meaning if I wanted to send you any kind of money, I can go on Cash App, and Cash App's connected to my Navy federal account, and whatever bank you have is connected to your account. And those are the centralized authorities. Those are the companies or the institutions that record our transactions, right? That's centralized. Now, what blockchain is and cryptocurrency, that's decentralized, meaning it's peer-to-peer. So you can cut out Cash App and you can cut out those banks. We have a wallet, and I will have a wallet and you would have a wallet, and I will send you cryptocurrency peer-to-peer, person to person. That's decentralized. And what allows us to do that is blockchain. So just like if I wanted to send you money, we need Cash App and we need our banks. In replacement of those responsibilities is blockchain. So blockchain connects us and it allows us to send money to one another. And because we're not using the US dollar, like the United States dollar, we're going to be using cryptocurrency to replace that. You see what I'm saying? So we're able to actually send money peer to peer. And this is a good thing about that is There's low transaction fees because you don't have like, Cash App, or you don't have Western Union or whatever taking these high fees if you wanted to send money to like a family member that's across country or whatever the case may be. And it's very fast too. Blockchain, it allows you to transfer money very quick with very low transaction fees. So that's pretty much the difference. So, and there's a lot of different cryptocurrencies and blockchains with a lot of different projects, right? So, for example, Bitcoin, that is a store of value, which means if I wanted to put due to inflation, because over time, our dollar, the value of our dollar goes down. So your hard-earned money, when you work your 9 to 5, or if you work your 12-hour shifts, you mean to tell me over a certain amount of years, my dollar is going down just by saving? So to counter that and to hedge that, you want to go ahead and invest into an asset such as Bitcoin that will gain in value over time. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yes. So what now with Bitcoin what is the actual product that I'm investing in?
So as far as Bitcoin, so like I said, what Bitcoin and the Bitcoin blockchain is, the whole goal of Bitcoin and Bitcoin blockchain is for us to send value or money peer to peer with low transaction costs and a very fast transaction rate. Like it will happen very quick, right? So when you invest into Bitcoin, what we're doing is the more people that invest into Bitcoin, the more Bitcoin is worth. Like right now, Bitcoin is around $45,000 per coin. It's around $46,000 per coin. The more that people buy Bitcoin and invest in Bitcoin, the demand goes up. Therefore, the value of Bitcoin goes up. In May of this year, Bitcoin was at its all-time high price of $64,000. It came down some. I always invest on the dip. So whenever the price drop, that's like a sale. That's a clearance rack for me. Like if you go to Nordstrom or something and you see, that shirt or them pants that you want that's on sale, yes. That's how I view all my investments. So whenever it goes down, I put my money in and I buy more, and it eventually will go back up. So Bitcoin, what you're investing in is the value of Bitcoin. It's actually currency.
It's actually currency, like another sort of currency, but from a different market, if you will, not supported by the American government.
Say it one more time.
Like not supported or government based like the US dollar is.
Yeah, it's not government based. So as far as being government based, for right now we use the US dollar, right? So back when we were on the gold standard, every dollar was worth a certain amount of gold. It was connected. It was backed by the gold, by actual gold, because gold is what the real value is. The US dollar is not the real value, but you don't want to walk. It's all about convenience, right? So you don't want to walk around with these heavy bricks. And if you go to Walmart and you have a $5 shirt with this $100, like $100 worth of gold, you don't want to have to cut it up and buy this $5 shit. Like it's inconvenient, right? So yes. What the banks did, and what the government did was like, hey, everybody, you can give us your gold and we'll give you these receipts, the US dollar, and you can use this. And it's highly divisible. It's very portable. It's very convenient, and you can make your exchanges if you want to exchange these dollars for any type of services, products, goods, all that good stuff. So that's what that was. We were taken off the gold standard, meaning all the gold that we have given, these dollars aren't connected to that gold anymore, because all the money we had in circulation was represented by gold. But since we're taking off, it's backed by the government now. So it's kind of like an IOU at this point, right? I'm just being honest. So it's pretty much like an IOU. And that's cool and all, but when we're considering inflation, and when you're just printing money and the value of it goes down. So like, I think if you look in the 90s, maybe a gallon of milk was like $1 and some change, and now it's about $4. You see what I'm saying? Like the price of the product isn't going up. The value of the dollar is going down. So it requires more dollars to get the same product.
Got you. I should have paid more attention in economics. But anyway, okay, so if I want to do the stock exchange route, can you explain a little bit, like grassroots terminology? How can we participate? Who do we go to if we want to go to stock? You know, if I want to invest in Uber or Lyft, you know, because we use that a lot. We help them get there. Um, how do I participate in that?
Okay, so if you want to start investing in stocks, you can use different apps like right on your phone. You can download Webull or Robinhood doesn't have the best rap, but you can definitely download Robinhood and just different apps that you can just pretty much register an account for, connect your bank account to, and you can pretty much buy shares of any publicly traded company that's available. Me personally, I do stock like shares, and I also do stock options as well. So actually, I'm an active trader, so I trade actively on stocks on a daily basis. So that's pretty much the stock route.
Wow, interesting. Because I've heard of you through my brother. I know he does that stock investing, you know, and he's trying to get to that point where he's doing it full time. He's even taken off time to do that. And it takes a certain type of personality or skill set to do that. So what just put you into this besides being motivated to be an entrepreneur or to not work for someone else?
Mhm.
How did you just what piqued your interest?
To be honest with you, one, I would say, well, I would think my number one reason for doing this is because I believe I really want to make more opportunities for people in our community, right? And also generational wealth. My main goal is to be a philanthropist. I want to be a giver. I feel like, God put me on this earth to be a giver. I want to be of service of you. Any type of knowledge or anything that I can give you that I have, if I have it, you literally have it. Right. So I really feel like that's my purpose, is to be like a giver and just, open doors with people, make opportunities, use what I have and the things that I'm interested in and everything that I learn and I spend day in and day out on doing. I want to be able to take that and give to other people. Like I said, my overall goal is to be a philanthropist. I want my family to be well off, generations from now when I'm gone. I want them to have, I want everybody to talk about Grandpa Lawrence, right? Like I want everybody, so that's my goal.
Awesome. And I found that to be a common theme among other philanthropists and millionaires, actually. And I find too, usually someone, if I listen long enough, they say, and they may not realize it, but they're saying why God put them on earth. For example, this week, the gentleman who bought the last operating or antibiotic producing facility in America in Tennessee, he bought it, and they produce amoxicillin, and all of us heard of amoxicillin, and that's the only one that's left company in America, and the people were working there for free.
Mm.
And so when he said, well, I would rather lose everything to save this one plant based off of the employees than to frivolously throw my money away. And I said, that's why God blessed him. And the point I'm trying to make is a lot of people want to get rich. They want to consume it for their own personal needs, but they don't look at why God empowered them to gain all of this wealth, which is to be a blessing, because God is a giver. And that's why you feel that movement, you're connected to him.
Exactly.
So he wants to give through you to his people who are in need, but you have to help prep us there. And so you're giving us this knowledge today, and you're saying that it's okay, go past the fear, go and invest. So how much money should we start off with?
So as far as cryptocurrency or
Cryptocurrency, stock market, is there a term that you recommend? Because I know years back, everybody used to say, oh, you need at least $2,000 to start off with, but most of us don't even have that saved up.
Yeah.
So, but today, isn't it a little bit cheaper than that?
So basically what you can do with, I mean, what I would recommend, I'm not a financial advisor, but what I would do is, first, I do things by percentage, not by the dollar. So if you're able to save about ideally 30% of your income, it can be monthly or annually, whatever you can do. If you can do 30% of that and be able to invest 30%, invest that 30%. So what I did was I saved up enough money for an emergency fund and just daily expenses. After that emergency fund, your money is just sitting. And when money just sits, it starts to mold. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, so after my emergency fund, and you can set your emergency fund, it could be three months worth of expenses and bills and stuff. It could be 6 months, whatever you're comfortable with. After you get your emergency fund, the excess money, because that's all it is excess. After that, you want to go ahead and see if you can and go ahead and invest that. I would say about 10% into the cryptocurrency market or anything that you're comfortable with. I would say about 10% for cryptocurrency, and I would say maybe another 10% into the stock market, and that remaining 10% you can, you know, you can pretty much do whatever you want with that one, whatever investments that you may like. If it's real estate, if it's saving up for, like I said, I want to get into the trucking industry. I'm looking to buy a semi. So if that's the case, so I would say, 30%, honestly, if you really want to see a difference and make a difference, if you can save 30% of whatever your income is. But also I want to say too, if you can save if you can save $25 a week, that's $100. That's $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year. $1,200. You can do a lot with $1,200, especially like if you want to get into, like I said, like stock options. You can do a lot with $1,200 and make more money with that money. Or you can take that $1,200. It may take some time, but it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not a race. You can do $25 a week. If you're going out to eat, you can do $25 a week. And like I said, that'll be $1,200 at the end of the year, and you can make something happen with $1,200. That's way more than enough money.
And thank you for breaking it down where we can do that. We have to look at our outgo sometimes, have the discipline necessary to save and prepare for our goals. Okay. And then be consistent at it.
Exactly.
So what does consistency look like when we're investing?
Consistency. So one of the things that, so as far as, so there are people who are 9-to-5 millionaires, meaning they work their 9 to 5, but they take they take their money from their 9 to 5 and they fuel their investments, right? So when we talk about consistency, one of my favorite investing methods is called dollar cost averaging. It's a little here, a little there. So what dollar cost averaging is pretty much taking a percent. So say, for example, if I have let's make it easy, $1,000. So instead of taking $1,000 and putting it all on, let's say Bitcoin. If we want to take $1,000, instead of putting it all on Bitcoin at this one specific price, if Bitcoin was at 40, because you can own Bitcoin without buying $45,000 to own one Bitcoin. You can have small percentages, right? You can go as little as $1, but I would say dollar cost averaging is if you take $1,000 and you pretty much spread it out instead of buying it all at once. So let's say if I wanted to buy, like I said, if I wanted to buy Bitcoin, so September, I will put $500 here. October, I'll put another $500 there. November, whatever money I have left, and just level out the playing field at all different price ranges. And that will actually protect you from the volatility of, the volatility of the market, because cryptocurrency is a very young market and it is very volatile. So if you can just spread out your money at different price points, then it would definitely benefit you in the long run. And if you can just do that over any amount of years, just consistently do it. Just don't stop. Like I said, always spend your money to buy assets, something that's going to make you money. So consistency, it doesn't, like I said, it's a marathon, man. Just if you got $50, invest it. If you have $25, invest it. If you have $100, do what you can, do whatever you can. So just don't stop. Just keep buying things that's going to grow in value over time.
I like
You're breaking up a little bit.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Mr. Briscoe, Patrina is freezing up. Can you just give us some more information and just continue your conversation? And she may have to come back in.
Oh yeah, that's fine. So like I said, consistency is always key. You don't have to have a whole lot of money to pretty much invest. And if you can sit here, if you can honestly just save over, like I said, if you can just have your emergency fund, and after that emergency fund, save up as much money as you can. And if you can put $25 here, or if you can do $50 here, and just over a period of time, like this is a long-term game. The overall goal is for you to be, it depends on your goals, but the overall goal is when you hit a certain age, when you become an elder, you want to be comfortable, right? Like you want to be able to be okay financially, and have something to pass down to your children and your children, and et cetera, generational wealth.
Yes, that's just pretty much what we call wealth and legacy building. And I do love the way that you have been able to give us insight on both of those parts. So in terms of your, what do you feel about mutuals? And I know it's part of the stock market. She's coming back in. There we go. But share your thoughts on mutual funds.
Okay, so as far as mutual funds and ETFs, I that's very highly recommended. Those are very safe investments for people who aren't as aggressive, right? So they're very highly recommended. As you know, for mutuals, and as far as like ETFs, they're just a basket of securities, or a basket of assets. So one of my favorite, I know you're talking about mutual funds, but one of my favorite ETFs, which is a basket, is QQQ, which is pretty much like a tech ETF. So it has all the major tech companies in it, like Amazon, Google, Apple, all that good stuff. So all of these, it's always best to invest into securities that will be here forever, really. Like if Apple was to disappear right now, it will be life-changing. So that's something that you will want to invest in. If Google was to disappear, it will affect our lives. That's something that you want to invest in. So that'll be an easy way to think about that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Evangelist Rogers, for having my back. I didn't realize I was having internet issues over here, but we're in Douglas County, Georgia, so no telling. But anyway, thank you for your patience, Mr. Briscoe. Before I fell off the air, I was saying how we need to be more consistent about investing and saving and preparing, and especially during this pandemic season. How have you prospered in spite of the pandemic?
The pandemic, the pandemic, I'm gonna first say pandemic, it affected a lot of people's lives. A lot of people have lost their jobs. And it was just very disruptive. It was very abrupt. It was very disruptive. So, sending out prayers for everybody who's still enduring that, because as everybody should know, I think over 60 or 70% of America lives paycheck to paycheck. So for people to just have that stop is just a terrible thing. But as far as me personally, the pandemic, it did, cause it caused a crash in the market. And I took that opportunity to really buy up a lot more securities and assets. So around this time, I am it is coming into it's very beneficial. It was very beneficial. Well, I'm not going to say beneficial, but I took advantage of the market to crash. So as of now, it worked out pretty well for me. I planned ahead of time.
So that's what we all should have been doing. This was the season to where it was more accessible for us, should I say?
Yes. There's this quote. There's this quote by Warren Buffett, which we should all know. That's one of like the most famous investors, that said you should always be greedy when others are fearful, and when others are fearful, you should be greedy. Meaning when people are selling a lot and there's a lot of economic chaos, this is the time where you pretty much, when the prices plummet and you want to go ahead and buy everything up. And then when everybody pretty much starts, buying more assets and the price start going up and people are becoming greedy, that's when you should be fearful and go ahead and sell off. So during the any type of economic crisis or any type of economic recession or anything, that is the time where you want to go ahead and collect as many assets as you can at the lowest price. You don't want to buy at the top, because a lot of people, you don't want to FOMO, which is fear of missing out. So I know we've all heard of like certain investments like GameStop or AMC or Bitcoins going to $60,000. And we hear that and we all want to put our money in because we want some money because everybody's talking about it. But the chances of that, if everybody's talking about it, chances are we're already at the peak. And whenever there's a pump and the price goes up, there's always going to be a dump. So I always look into investments that, the company is great, the project is great, and I look at the price averages of the company, and whenever it goes down, or like I said, if there's any type of economic crisis or recession or whatever the case may be, when the prices are very low, that's when you want to go ahead and buy aggressively, as long as they're good companies. And just wait it out, because like I said, for every pump there's a dump, and whenever there's a dump there's a pump, meaning when the price goes up, the price has to come down. When the price goes down, it has to come up. So you just have to find those points.
In other words, we need to buy low and sell high.
Buy low and sell high. There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
We do have a Facebook question, and that question is, what about solo funds or solo I'm assuming thousand funds, or solo K in parentheses funds?
You said solo K in parentheses funds.
Yes.
I'm not familiar with that, but if the audience want to follow me at my Instagram is bitcoin.briss. My Twitter is bitcoinbriss, BRIS, and my Facebook is bitcoinbriss. I will look into that and I will give them pretty much any type of information they need on whatever they want to know.
I'm noticing a lot of younger people are investing, such as yourself. What was the spark? Because you mentioned Robinhood and you talked about the GameStop stock, all of that. What generated that movement among the young?
Among like the young people to start investing?
Yes, sir.
I think that one of the biggest causes of that was probably the 2008 crash. I know a lot of people, a lot of my peers who suffered from that. So I think at that point, and also working a 9 to 5, right? Like there's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5, but also there's not, I'm not knocking anybody's hustle or anything. There's nothing working with it, but 40 hours a week is aggressive. That's a lot of time. That Sunday night anxiety when you have to go to work on Monday, that's not healthy.
It really isn't.
Exactly. And I think that my generation, we're at an age where our parents are getting older, right? And I know I have peers that are taking care of their parents, right? Because their parents probably didn't have the opportunity to invest, right? Or an opportunity to plan out, more of their retirement for whatever reason. And like I said, I think it's due to the 2008 crash when a lot of us seen what happened. I think it is due to, like I said, my peers, they take care of their parents as they're getting older. And I think that they genuinely just want to make a change. And also working a 9 to 5, millennials, man, listen, if we don't like that 9 to 5, we're not going to stay loyal too soon. I mean, for too long, right? If we want to get a different job, we're going to get a different job. We believe in mental health days. We'll take off. Well, so the times are just changing. Investing is becoming more accessible, especially to the Black community. So, this is pretty much, I feel like this is a golden age for our community, so it's a beautiful thing. And I love to see it,
Awesome. The question came back. They were talking about solo 401k plans or programs. What about investing in those?
Oh, I don't rely on 401ks. I don't, because I'm being honest with you, 401ks, they're just investing your money. You could do the same thing by by pretty much investing your money in the stock market and get higher of a percentage. That's what banks do. They invest your money, get 30% of the money that you're saving and give you 0.5%. And they keep the rest. So, I can't really tell you too much about 401ks. I'm very private. I'm very private, and meaning, I work for myself. I'm depending on myself. I'm not really looking towards the government or my company, to provide my retirement. And, from what I've heard, I've talked to a lot of older people in 401ks. Sometimes they don't pan out the way that you wanted to, and then due to inflation as well. So you could sit here and work on your 401k right now, and then 40 years down the line, like I said, the dollar may now, rent might be more expensive, dairy products might be more expensive, so I don't know too much about 401ks. I literally, when I had my IT job, I had a 401k, but that was only to allow them to double the money that I wasn't using. And as soon as I resigned, that 401k hit my bank account and I invested all of it. I'm not too fond of them, so I can't,
You're getting a lot of kudos in the chat room. It says, then you have to pay additional taxes when you do withdraw from the 401k plans, all of that, because you're paying that tax. I think that's what, 40%. And then you have to pay an additional percentage on those withdrawal of funds at the end of the year, because now it becomes a part of your income.
Yep. And I think that people, just to throw this out here, 9 to 5 work, W-2 workers, they pay the most taxes out of every tax bracket. So you have W-2 workers, part-time business owners. Actually, I'm sorry, W-2 workers and part-time business owner pay the highest taxes. But W-2 earners, they also pay very high taxes. So W-2 workers, I think that they pay about 40%, might be like 35 to 40% of taxes, right? Business owners, they pay about 10 to 20% of taxes. Investors pay 0%, because the way that our economy is set up very simple. Whenever we have a very healthy economy, that means that we have a lot of money transferring. We're exchanging money. Money is flowing. It's flowing very healthy. Everybody's getting paid. Everybody's spending. Everybody's getting paid. Everybody's spending. Now, when the pandemic happened, everybody stopped spending, right? So when everybody stops spending, that's when the banks give incentives like very low interest rates. So when you hear that 2.5 interest rate, you're like, okay, I can take out that loan. That's a very good interest rate. It's a lot of incentivizing, so they can, so you can start spending again, and it can feed the economy. So that's why investors pay 0%, because our entire job is to spend money. So we don't have to pay any taxes because we're spending it the entire time. Business owners, they pay 10 to 20% of taxes because everything is a write-off when you have a business. All your supplies, your rent, wherever you're holding your business, you can put a label on your car with your business. Your car is a write-off now. Your business as a business is a write-off. Whenever you invest more money into your business, that's a write-off, right? Donations, whenever you're having if you're going on a business trip, if you want to go to Miami for a business trip, that's a write-off. When you want to go, to a restaurant, with your friends or business partner. That's a write-off. So they pay 10 to 20%. Now W-2 workers pay about 35 to 40%. So that's why another reason why I encourage, and as far as the reason why I say W-2 and part-time business owners pay the most, because like I said, business owner pay 10 to 20% and W-2 workers pay about 40%. So, if you put that together, that's a little bit higher than, the actual W-2 worker, but they're receiving more money at the same time. So it balances out because of the part-time business.
Okay, got you.
Mhm.
Okay, we have a couple of more questions from Facebook. The first one is, can you buy real estate with Bitcoin?
Actually, it's funny because I have a couple friends in the DMV area who are realtors, and I'm actually starting to see people accepting down payments in Bitcoin or accepting a payment in Bitcoin. It's not a major thing, but as of now, while the market is still growing, what I would say is you can use, and this is what I'm doing, me personally, you can, remember I told you the cryptocurrency market is very volatile. It can drop at a very fast rate, but it also goes up at a very fast rate. So you can invest into cryptocurrency, and the amount of gains that you get from investing in cryptocurrency, you can sell that and you can use those profits that you gain from investing in cryptocurrency, and that can be your down payment of your house, honestly.
Okay, good. I'm having internet trouble again of all days. The inaugural viewing of Church Biz, can you believe it? The second question is, how long do you expect for the market to last the way it is because of the pandemic, the changes and all of that?
Mhm.
And awesome before the value change, or how long do you expect the market to be as fluid as it is right now?
Bull markets is not, there's two types of markets. There's bull markets and bear markets. So bull markets is the time that we're in now, where the price of like the stock market and cryptocurrency is just going up and up and up, and people are making a lot of money from investing. That we're in a bull market right now. A bear market is when the markets start to crash and the prices steadily decline and decline and decline. That's a bear market. Bull markets normally last twice as long as bull markets normally last twice as long as bear markets. So bull markets probably last around 2 to 3 years, and then a bear market will come and it will last about a year and a half. So as of right now, this is what I'm preparing for. I think that there's a bear market coming within the next, I would say, about 12 to 14 months. I think we have one more solid year, maybe a little bit less, because right now, even as the stock market is overextending right now. And the cryptocurrency market, it hasn't reached its all-time high yet, but I would give it about I think we have a solid year. I think by the end of this year, I'm going to be beginning to start taking profits over a period of time. So I haven't planned out how I'm going to be taking out my profits. I think I'm going to do maybe like 1% a day or whatever the case may be. But I think by the end of this year, towards summertime or second or third quarter of 2022, I'm going to be taking profits that entire time, because you want to go ahead and start taking profits, or you want to go ahead and start saving your money, because I believe in late 2022 or around 2023, we're going to go ahead and it's going to hit the reset button, and that's when you want to start buying.
Okay. Around the 2020.
I'm not financial. Don't quote me on it. This is just my predictions for me. But like late 2022 to like 2023, I think that there's going to be a bear market, because we've already been in a bull market since I think like 2019, around that time, 2019, maybe late 2018, 2019. So I think it's almost that time.
Okay, and then another comment here that says, were people buying real estate with the Bitcoin prior to the present day circumstances?
What do you mean by
Did
that?
you, were they using their Bitcoin investments to purchase real estate prior to the pandemic situation going on now?
You said were people using their profits from the Bitcoin investment in order to buy
Prior
real estate
to, prior
prior
to,
to the pandemic?
yes.
Um, so it depends on when you started investing into Bitcoin, right? So as of now, right now, if you invested, anybody who invested from February of this year and before, you're clearly in profit right now, which is a very good thing. So if you invested from February and any time before that, you're clearly in profit as far as cryptocurrency. So it kind of, I can't speak for everybody. It depends on when you got in the market. It depends on how much you gained from your cryptocurrency investments. Like I said in my book, it's cool. One of the things I said in my book, it's cool to have cryptocurrency and all, but you always want to diversify your portfolio. You don't want to go all in on cryptocurrency. You don't want to go all in on the stock market. I mean, you can, and it's fine. And if it works for you, then it works for you. But just diversify. Like I said, I can't speak for everybody and what they do for their profits from crypto, but you can definitely use crypto to buy real estate or buy stocks and just diversify. You can definitely do that. Like I said, it's a very volatile market. It goes up very quick. You'll earn your profits very quick, as long as you hold on. And even if the market does dip, like I think it was May 19th. It was May 19th when the cryptocurrency market dipped about 50. I wouldn't even say dipped. It went down to about 50 to 60%. Right. So everybody was just panic selling. Right. And me personally, I didn't sell. I held on. I even bought more because, in the past, Bitcoin since its inception, I think Bitcoin's 12 years old. Since its inception, everybody's in profit pretty much. Like I said, if you invested from February of 2021, it's September right now. If you invested from February 2021 and before, you're in profit, so it just depends on you, depends on your goals. It depends on when you started investing, how aggressively you invested into it. And yeah, you can buy real estate with cryptocurrency. I can buy real estate with my portfolio, but I choose to hold on for a little while longer. I do
All
such.
right. So we got a couple of more questions. How long do you think this is going to last with the numbers in the COVID victims, the Delta variant, and now the Wu variant, I believe that's called? How do you see the market in light of those new advances, shall I say, in the
Okay.
negative?
Well, I would say this, since the pandemic started, and I'm pretty sure everybody is, obviously you can see it by as many people has been unemployed. The pandemic has increased that gap between the upper class and the lower class. Like it just had, like, the rich is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer in the pandemic. That's why I was saying, like, the pandemic was just a very abrupt, and it's just a very sad case. Like, financially, people, it's either you've lost from the pandemic, or you were part of that wealthy group that was just getting more and more money, from it. As far as the pandemic and how it's going to affect the market, I can't really say, right? Like, things is very shaky. This is something that we've never been through before, right? We've never been through a pandemic before. Is hard to say. It depends on how the government handles the situation. Like, if they cause for another lockdown, if we go back into quarantine, because things are opening up, you can still, go out and stuff like that. But if they shut everything down again, which I highly doubt they'll do, then the market's going to go down. Like I said, once money, just keep in your mind, like, once money stops flowing for any reason, if money stops flowing, there will be a recession. Whenever you hear banks talk about lower interest rates, that's how you know that, they need that. That's an incentive. They want you to go ahead and start spending. Like, we might be in a little bit of trouble. We need you to go ahead and spend some money. So just look out for those signs. Like I said, in the beginning of the pandemic, we didn't know what was going on. They shut down everything. People lost their jobs. The money stopped flowing. we were, we were in a recession. They just didn't announce that, but we were in a recession. The market dropped, the crypto market dropped, the stock market dropped. We were, but just look out for those things. Like I said, you don't have to be like a investor guru, or you don't have to be like that. Just every now and then download like a little NASDAQ app, or just download, Webull, and you don't have to invest. Just look at the market, right? Just look at certain stocks you might be interested, or companies that you like. Like if you like going to Target, we all love Target. Go look at Target stock. See, look at a 1 year range. Look at the dips and see, compare the economic state compared to the time frame that you see those dips and stuff like that. Just keep your eye on every now and then, right? So I would just say look out for those signs. I'm not entirely sure with these new taking these new variants into consideration. I'm not too sure what they'll do to the market. We really just got to play it ear by now. Like I said, I just know the market. I know for a fact the stock market is overextending at this moment, and just gotta play it by ear. You just have to watch the news. Look at financial, like the financial policies that drop every month by the Treasury, by the chair of the Treasury. What's her name? What's her name? I think her name's like I cannot remember the woman's name, but she's like the chair of the Treasury. Just look at saying the monetary policies, and you just got to play it by ear at this point.
So those are the reality shows we should be watching. But anyway. All right, we're getting close to the end of our show on today. Okay. Say the name of your book again. Oh, one more question. Are you familiar with REL funds? That's African American funds.
REL funds. I'm not familiar with REL funds, but as soon as I give you my my social media handles, I will save all of this. And matter of fact, I'll write it down right now. You said I see it, REL funds. And what was the other fund that somebody else asked about? It was like Solo K, right?
Oh, yes, Solo.
Yeah, Solo K. Okay, so I'll look into both of those. And if you guys go ahead and follow me on my social media handles, which I will be dropping in a few, then I'll go ahead and make sure that I put as much information and how I think about that, and if they're good investments, and et cetera, et cetera.
We have one more question.
Okay.
What's day trading?
What is day trading? So day trading is when you purchase a stock or a security. You can do it with crypto as well. When you purchase a security and you sell it within the day, right? So I remember I told you earlier that I do stock options trading, and what stock options trading is basically you get a contract. And pretty much, long story short, you're pretty much betting on if this stock will go up for the day, or if it's going to go down for the day, or a certain period of time. And it's a very short term. It can be a short term thing. It can also be a long term thing. But I'll go say, for example, if I saw Apple and I believe that it's going to go up for the day, I will buy a contract. I would buy a contract, and I would say, this contract is saying that this stock is going to go up, and somebody around the world that's also in the stock market doing stock options trading may say, well, I think Apple's going to go down. So we don't know who we are. There's people, and there's a system in place where we can exchange contracts. And pretty much if I say that's going to go up and he say that it's going to go down, we will have to purchase each other's contracts, and whoever's right pretty much comes into profit.
Okay. So, is it easy to day trade, or is it best to get a firm?
You say, is it easy to day trade, or is it best to what?
To get a firm, someone to do it for you.
I wouldn't recommend. I mean, unless you're going to be you're going all out on this, I wouldn't recommend day trading. I would say about 80 to 90% of day traders do not come in profit, but long-term investors, I would say majority of long-term investors always come into profit. So anybody who is not going to who's going to be honest with themselves, and if you're not going to take out the time and learn this type of stuff, I would say just trade for the long term, or if you want to trust the firm, that's fine as well. But I wouldn't really recommend day trading unless you plan on doing this all day, every day. This is your full-time job. Like I said, stats shows 80 to 90% of day traders are not profitable. So I wouldn't recommend that. I would say long-term investing, just go ahead and hold. And, one thing I just really want to emphasize on investing, if you have a good company and you invested into a very good company, if it's Apple, or if it's, like I said, Amazon, Google, these very known companies, or even if it's Bitcoin or Ethereum, Cardano, ADA, those cryptocurrencies, if you invest into that and the price goes down, never panic. I wouldn't say never, but don't panic sell. Do not panic. Don't panic sell. If anything, if it goes down and these are very good companies, buy more. So I would say don't day trade if this is not going to be your full-time thing. I would say long-term trading, and if you trust a firm and they give you very good rates, then that's a good way to go as well. But I would say no for day trading.
Also, Ameritrade would be like one of those companies. Do you know of other names, or should we just go to the company we want to invest in and find out which of those organizations they kind of have contracts with that purchase the stocks from them?
Are you talking about as far as purchasing stocks yourself, or?
Yes, like if I go to an Ameritrade organization, I can find out who or which portfolios that they deal with and make my commitment with them.
Yeah. You can. I do everything myself as far as firms. I don't know too much about firms. I do everything myself. I handle all my finances myself as of now. But I definitely do use TD Ameritrade. I actually day trade off. I use Thinkorswim, which is TD Ameritrade, but I do use TD Ameritrade. I do use Robinhood every now and then. I definitely use Webull. You can also use E-Trade. That's a very good app and company you can look into to start handling your securities. There's a lot of different applications and companies that can help you with that, and it has all their information on their website. So like I said, you can look at TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, and you can use apps such as Robinhood, Webull, and all that good stuff to purchase your securities. And Robinhood and Webull, TD Ameritrade, and also Tastyworks is good too. I know for Robinhood, Webull, and Webull, you can definitely buy cryptocurrency off those apps as well. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, how do we follow you? The name of your book and a word on risk.
Okay. So you can follow me on Instagram. My personal Instagram is Lawrence the Investor, LAWRENCE, Lawrence the Investor. My business page is bitcoin.bris, which is BRIS. My last name is Briscoe. Twitter, Bitcoin Bris. Facebook, Bitcoin Bris, or Lawrence Briscoe, if you want to reach out to me personally. So those are my social media handles. My book is Wealth Building Through Cryptocurrency. You can find that book in my bio on all of those social media platforms that I just gave you. All my social media handles, they're in my bio on all of it. It's only $7.99 with a lifetime worth of game. It's a lot of resources in there. Trust me, I made it for, like I said, I didn't make it for like full-time investors, for gurus, for people who go all out, such as like myself. I made it for people who, just want to put some money to the side, who want to, understand how to make, it'll be perfect for you. Like I said, it's only $7.99. You can find it in my bios on those Instagram handles I gave you. And a word on risk. If you feel uncomfortable putting that much, if you have a certain amount of money that you're about to invest and you feel uncomfortable or shaky, or it's a little bit nerve-wracking, lower the money. Lower the money. Don't invest. There's no such thing as getting rich quick. That's my biggest thing. There's no such thing as getting rich quick. One of the people I look up to, Damon John, Damon John, he made Fubu. There was an interview. He said it took him 10 years to make $1 million, and he closed Fubu 4 times before it became a multi-million-dollar clothing industry as well. This is a long game. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Just stay consistent, stay persistent. There's going to be green days where your money's going up. There's going to be red days where your money is going down. Only invest what you're comfortable with. Take a certain percentage of after you got your emergency fund, take a certain percentage of your income or excess income and invest it. And, just do what you're comfortable with, but stay consistent. Treat your assets like you treat your clothes or your shoes. If you see it on sale and the price is low, go ahead and buy it. Show that same respect for that.
Right.
And
Well,
yeah.
we have to end. We're all at the end of our show. And I do want to thank you again for being a part, and thank all of our Church Biz listeners for tuning in today and for your questions. Thank you for being a part of this episode of Church Biz. And we hope that you are prospering in spite of the pandemic. Everybody take care and be blessed.